This is a top 5 of mice that were mostly released in 2022 and are easiest or the best to recommend. We had a lot of great mice released last year, but also quite many of them had some issues. So that's why this video also contains quite a bit of complaining. Let's start with the first two, as those are fairly obvious. So we got the G Pro X Superlight here again, and then the new Razer DeathAdder V3 Pro. Both of these are absolutely amazing. The DeathAdder V3 Pro is the best release of the year. It has the best performance out of all wireless mice, but it's also very expensive. The G Pro X Superlight then again is by no means a new mouse. It's fairly old already, but one thing that really still makes it such a good one is the fact that you can actually now find it for very cheap. For example, in Finland you can pretty much always find it available for 99 euros, so basically the same price as the Pulsar X2. Even cheaper than the Lamso Atlantis, the same price as the Xtrfy M8. So yeah, insane bang for buck. And of course still top tier performance and the most efficient sensor in any wireless mouse at the moment. By this I basically mean that the performance to battery life ratio is absolutely insane on the Superlight. Both of these shapes are also very safe. The DeathAdder V3 Pro is of course quite a bit larger, so it's not that suitable for small hands, but it's still a very safe shape, does not have that many curves on the sides for an ergo mouse. So a very good first ergonomic mouse for people who have not really tried these asymmetrical mice before. The Superlight then again may just be the most safe shape on the planet, very good for small, medium and large hands, especially if you clogger. Everything has sort of already been said about these two mice already at this point. They just dominate the market at the moment. For the placements, and at least here in Europe and especially here in Finland, the Superlight has to get the first place because of the insane value for money. The Razer DeathAdder V3 Pro is an insanely good mouse, and if you have to pay pretty much the same price for the Superlight as you do the Dave, then I would go for the Dave myself. It's a very close second here. Then on to the third position, and here we have the very impressive Xtrfy M8. The shape is very good for claw grip, it has very nice click feeling, very good mouse feet, it's very light for the size and quite well balanced. Not quite as well as the Superlight, but one of the better balanced small mice I've tried. And it costs 100 bucks or euros, so it has a very competitive price. As with all the rest of the mice on this list, the performance is not of course quite up to par with the Logitech G Pro X Superlight and the Razer DeathAdder V3 Pro, but you should not really expect that at this price range. The surface finish is actually something that I would love to see Xtrfy improve. It's not horrible by any means, but the M8 does not feel premium and the surface feel is not very grippy. Nothing much else to say about the Xtrfy M8. I actually quite recently made a full review about it, so if you are interested in more details, check it out. Then we basically have three mice, so we have the Lamso Atlantis and the Pulsar X2s. These are both very good mice, but both have some problems. The X2s, for example, have had a lot of quality issues with the clicks, and no matter how good of a buy the Lamso Atlantis was in 2022, it's basically an XM1 clone and the XM2WE is out already. In Europe, the XM2WE is cheaper and it's more of a premium feeling mouse than the Atlantis is. In the US, the pricing is very similar, but I still consider the XM2WE a better buy at this point. Those are the reasons why I can't place these two mice any higher, and to be fair, maybe the X2 with all the click issues that they've had could be even tied at 5th place. But Pulsar has mentioned that they will improve the clicks. My new Bruce Lee limited edition does not have any click issues, but to be fair, neither did my red edition, and I can't really confirm that those will not happen in the future with the Bruce Lee. And anyway, people who bought the X2 already would still be suffering with the click issues. But yeah, let's keep the Pulsar X2 at the 4th position, tied with the Atlantis for now. As the 5th and the last mouse on the list, I've got the Fantech Aria XD7, which provides really good value for your money. The mouse doesn't feel premium by any means, does not have the best feeling coding I've ever tried, not the best dock feet or the best click feel, but for the price, every feature of the mouse is actually really good. The shape is very nice for a claw grip, quite lightweight and quite well balanced. I absolutely enjoy it in basically any game, but of course this is not quite the most unique shape as it's pretty much a Razer Orgy clone. So you might be interested why I'm rating it on the 5th, even though it has such a good price and so good features for it, and the main reason for that is that I don't consider this shape to be quite as universal as the other mice on the list. I myself enjoy it more for claw than the X2 and the Atlantis, but this kind of egg shape can always be kind of hit or miss. If bang for buck is important for you guys, and it definitely should be, the Aria could even deserve a higher rating. The 3 to 5 positions were extremely hard for me to rate because of all the issues that the X2s might have had, and the Lamsu Atlantis being more expensive for us Europeans than you guys in the US. It's very close with the 4 and 5 positions at this moment, and I've got a few unreleased mice on my desk, and I think the top 5 is gonna be very different come Q1 2023. This part was actually recorded last year, but I can now confirm that the 2023 top 5 will look very different. This list does not necessarily contain my own personal favorites, as for example the HAUS Plus is for sure one of them. I just don't recommend it as easily for anyone to buy, basically because of the price and availability. At the moment you can't even get these in Europe, and I've got no clue when they get in stock. The mouse is very impressive, and for example quality issues that I've almost always had with G-Bulls mice are non-existent with my HAUS Plus 4K. And the performance is actually even better now with the new firmware compared to what it was with the firmware that I reviewed with. There is actually less motion latency with the HAUS Plus 4K than there is with the wired CA13C. Not quite as responsive as Razer 4K, but very close. Click latency has also been improved, so I got 0.68 milliseconds and 0.09 standard deviation. There is slight inconsistencies between runs though, because I got 0.75 with another run, and then with the third run I got 0.72. Nothing alarming or anything that really makes a difference, but this is something that does not happen with Razer. Shoutout also for the Xtrfy MZ1 wireless and the M42 wireless, but the pricing of these two mice triggers me, so the MZ1 wireless costs $120 and the M42 costs $100, and both are in most features worse than the Xtrfy M8. So that's it for the top 5 with some honorable mentions. These are not my own favorites, but just mice that I can easily recommend for almost anybody. A video about my own top 5 will be upcoming soon. Let me know what your top 5 would look like, and thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a good day and see you in the next one.